Hey shooters, welcome back to the Shooters Resource Channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the P30 SK by H&K. This is the compact version of the full-size P30. It's a great pistol. Before we get started, go ahead and take a second, hit that like and subscribe button, support the channel. The P30 SK by H&K. This is a great pistol. It's a subcompact version of the P30. Its predecessor was the P2000 SK, and it's close cousins with the VP9 SK, as the P30 is pretty close to the VP9 series of pistols, with the exception that the P30 series is a hammer-fired series that was introduced prior to the VP9. Actually, the P30 SK was introduced in 2011. It's got a corrosion-resistant, hostile environment, blued slide, and a polymer frame. The P30 is used by several European police agencies, and after shooting the P30 SK, it's no surprise to me. Now, there are several versions of this pistol, but you can break them down into two major versions having to deal with the actual firing mechanism of the pistol. The first is the V1 series, which is their LEM, Law Enforcement Modification Trigger System. If you don't know about H&K's LEM triggers, you need to check them out. I had a H&K USP9 that had an LEM trigger, and I really enjoyed it. Now, that model comes with a low-profile hammer, but then the V3 version, which is what I have here, is the double-action, single-action version, and you can get it with or without a safety. Now, it has a spurred hammer and decocker. The LEM trigger, what makes it different than a traditional hammer gun is you get the same trigger pull every time. It's essentially a light 5.5 pound double action trigger pull with each trigger squeeze. The P30 SK comes in at 24 ounces. It's got a standard 1913 Picatinny rail. And this specific gun, which it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my buddy T, is equipped with the Meprolite True Dot Trinium sights. And H&K provides these firearms with these sights, so you can get them directly from the factory with them on there. But the standard sights are their luminescent sights that can be charged with light, and then they glow in the dark. But these Meprolite ones actually have trinium vials in them that allow them to glow regardless of whether they've been charged with light or not. Also on the Meprolites, the rear sight is angled for one-handed slide racking. Now, the barrel on this particular firearm is an aftermarket barrel from H&K. It's not the original factory barrel, but it's a threaded one that was made for either the P30 SK or the P2000 SK series of pistols. The P30 SK comes with one 10-round and one 13-round magazine, unless, of course, you live in a less free state. But the other cool thing about the P30 SK is both the P30 magazines and the VP9 series of magazines work for the P30 SK. So that's really nice if you've got these other H&K models already in your arsenal. Now, when it comes to ergonomics, H&K is known for producing some of the most ergonomic pistols in the world. And the P30 and VP9 series really helped back up that claim because they give you the gun with 3 different size back straps and 3 different size side plates, which can be configured in 27 different combinations to give you the best grip and feel in your hand. The other thing that H&K's got going for it is it has all ambi controls. You've got dual slide and mag releases, so both on the right and left side of the pistol. And a lot of people complain about the European mag release, but I happen to like it. And I find that all of the controls are very easy to get to. The slide release is very large, and you don't have to reshift your hand to get to it and drop the slide when you're doing mag changes, which is really nice. And the mag release, you can hit it with trigger finger, thumb, whichever finger you like, because on the P30 series, as well as the VP9 series, they enlarged those mag releases, and they made them very easy to get to. The P30 SK also has front slide serrations, which is unique on a pistol of this size. The hammer is serrated, which is really nice on this spurred hammer for the double action, single action, so that you can cock the hammer back and go into single action from double action very easily. And it also has a decocker button that is located on the rear of the slide, and it's very easy to get to. And it puts your thumb in a real natural position so that you can just go ahead and shift your thumb over the hammer and keep it there while reholstering to make sure that you're not going to have any negligent discharge if the trigger were to be bumped by anything during the reholstering process. The trigger well on the P30 and VP9 series is also very generous, which would make it very easy to shoot this gun while wearing gloves. Lastly, let's look at the performance of the pistol. The accuracy is very great. You've got a 3¼ inch polygonal rifle barrel, and that polygonal rifling allows for higher velocities and a longer barrel life. The trigger for the double action, single action setup is very similar to a lot of other traditional double action, single action triggers. You get about a 10 to 12 pound smooth but long trigger for double action. It's got somewhat of a rolling wall, but it's got a very clean break. And then for the single action, you've got a much shorter 5½ pound trigger pull. Now with the LEM trigger system, you get about a 5½ pound pull every time. The one downside to this trigger though is it's got a fairly long reset. It's somewhere around about 3/8 of an inch. And I really think that's something that H&K could have done a lot better job on. When it comes to speed, H&K sometimes gets hit for having a high bore access, but I never find that to be a problem. They've got a patented recoil reduction system that seems to do the job. I can run H&K pistols fairly fast, but I'll be honest, mainly due to the trigger on this gun, I feel like I can run the VP9 series a little faster. Looking back on my VP9 SK video, I really think that's the truth. Now, what a lot of people have done with these P30 series of firearms, they've replaced the trigger with the Grey Guns trigger, or have sent their gun off to have it done. Now, with that, many people have claimed that they're getting some of the best triggers that they've ever felt in their life. If you're interested in a P30 and you want to have a really sweet trigger, Grey Guns might be something to consider. When it comes to reliability, I've never had a single problem out of any of my H&K pistols. They all have been very reliable. So when you buy a P30 SK, you can expect the same. Now back in 2010, H&K put a single P30 pistol through an endurance test where they fired 91,000 rounds and didn't have any major component failures. That's a testament to a really robust pistol. If you're in the market for a new carry gun, the P30 SK might not be the newest, hottest thing out on the market, but if you find one at a great price, you might want to check it out. The P30 SK is a great gun. I would go for the LEM trigger myself, but again, this is a very good friend of mine's everyday carry, and it's served him very well in that role. Thank you guys for taking time to watch the channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and take a second, hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, Thank you all, and God bless.